Hello, it's Zoe from Imaginary Pig, and this is a completed art journal flip through because I love looking through other people's, so I thought I'd give you a look at mine. Not that there's anything particularly fantastically artistic in here, it's just, well, you know, art journaling, messy, fun. And some of the things I don't like and some I do, but here's a little look through. It began in 2017, finished in 2018. And it is an old book that I had knocking around in a thrift store, from a thrift store even. And I took some of the pages out because art journal pages always get fat, and just altered the cover slightly. I think it was like a style book, one of those kind of things, but it had a nice hard cover. So I altered it and used it as my art journal. So first page is just, I stuck something in to kind of cover the page, and it was just, I got a bunch of new markers. I think it was Crayola Super Tips, and I wanted to test the colours, so I just drew a little thing that I stuck in. I've written some notes around the side about things I need to work on looking back at these, and again that was my markers. So just very simplistic pictures to start off with there. This was my trial at watercolour, which didn't go quite as I wanted it to, but it's kind of cute, so I stuck it in. And this was another watercolour trial, an attempt at colour blending, as it says there. This was scrapbooked. This was acrylic paint, just sort of playing around with texture, and this was painted on a piece of cardboard and stuck in, so it was a bit of a collage. That was fun to do. These were some watercolours that I didn't like very much, basically. I stuck them in because it's good to keep these things and know what didn't work. This was an imitation of someone else's style and it didn't work because it wasn't mine. This one was a lot more my style, so that's why that's clearly a better piece, basically. So they're not terrible, but I stuck them in just to keep them, really. And that was my sort of rose doodly thing. That was just some abstract stakes. I'm not sure why I put them in. Oh, just experimenting on my watercolour paper with coloured markers. It was soothing to do. That's why I stuck those in. These were pencil drawings that I didn't want to get rid of, but I didn't know where to put them. And it was just, I was trying to explain depression on a good day and a bad day. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is depression on a good day. It's small. So I wrote a little script just to go with it, which is, I carry you with me wherever I go. You feel like a friend who never quite wants me to be happy, but on days like these you are light to carry so I can walk further. And then depression on a bad day. I'm immobilised. You loom over me and paralyse both thought and movement. I can see through you to the lighted path, but cannot pass you to follow it. On days like these, it seems all I can do is sleep until you shrink again. So, I actually sketched it way back in 2015, and in 2017 I stuck it in here because it was floating around and I didn't have anywhere to put it, so put it in here. This was a picture that was already in this book, but I just got rid of the text and used those colours to play around with some acrylics. These were just some random sort of drawings and doodles. This was a great sketch until I decided to try and seal it with PVA glue, and I hadn't realised that the ink wasn't waterproof, so it ended up being this kind of demonic inky black thing, but you live and learn. Acrylic paints again. I did a lot of playing with texture in this, and then just a little doodle. I really like my Pierrot girl. She was fun to draw. Not keen on this page, but I finished it, so that's something, I guess. I'm really pleased with these pages. This was a little kind of drawing concept with acrylic. So I'm really, really pleased with how they turned out. The only shame is that before I sealed them, these pages stuck together, and so some of the paint ripped off. But then I did seal them with PVA glue after that, so then now they don't stick together anymore. But yeah, I'm just so pleased with the way it turned out with the concept. I just wanted to have the split page. I was thinking about, I think it came about because I was doing a Dutch store in my bullet journal, and I just wanted to see what would happen if I did a painting that could be looked at in several different ways, and that's what resulted. That's another texture and colour page. This was just a collage. I don't really have much to say about that. I'm not really very pleased with it, but it is what it is. And again, another page. I absolutely hate this page. It did not turn out the way I wanted it to. But part of art journaling is learning as you go. Another collage just with bits of magazine clippings that I really liked. You're the icing on the cake. Collaging is fun. It's good to do when you're not feeling particularly artistic, but you want to do something to occupy your mind. More sort of depression pictures. I really love this page. This came out nicely. I don't know if you can see the gold. Used some gold acrylic paint, and it just, I don't know, the composition of the page, the colours, the underwater kind of tones, the texture, just everything. I like the way that turned out. I'm pleased with it. This was awful, but it's just literally just washi tape swatches. There's nothing more I can say about that. This was a nice one. The stamp says we can't always choose the music life plays for us, but we can choose how we dance to it. So I did a little music themed spread. And I was getting more comfortable with art journaling techniques here, I think. And this is literally just journaling. I don't know if you can see the texture of those little dots on the page, but I did them with nail varnish. That's another one using my gold. I was fond of that gold when I first got it. I was using it all the time. So I was feeling quite down when I did that one. This is just experimenting with shapes and colour. Too much gold. I went a bit overboard with the gold here. Oh, I'm pleased with this one. So that is The Sun is Setting, Music Plays, but I've Forgotten How to Dance. And that was an old book page and just random acrylics. And that was doodling on black acrylic. And this is just, I was just trying to do some abstract flower shapes. I'm not displeased with it, but I don't love it either. There's another little collage. And another one I hate. Oh god, I really hate that. Like, I was trying to do a sort of, look, autumn, things are changing, and look at the fiery colours, and it just didn't work out at all. This was, this I only did recently actually. It was in collaboration with a poet on Instagram who wrote the poem for me to illustrate. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. She turned out pretty well. So it was acrylics and ink. That was just some more random sketches. So I often do random sketches on just scrap bits of paper that I've got lying around instead of in an actual sketchbook. So that's when I end up just sticking them in my art journal. And this is the penultimate page. It's been sealed with gesso, just gloss gesso. So I like the look of the varnishy look it gives it. So that was just random sort of art journaly page. I'm fond of blues and greens. I think when I look through them, those are the colours that make me the most happy. And then that was just a collage for the last two pages of scrapbooky paper and bits and pieces. And that's it. This baby is going to bed, and I'm moving properly into an A4 sketchbook, which I'm going to be doing some more art journaling in, and the little one for when I feel like just doing little pieces rather than a whole A5 size. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.